Boom. What up, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. Bring it up a little bit. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What up? Yeah. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, A to the D to the Walker. Appreciate you guys for being here, rocking with us every single morning, 9 a.m. Let's make sure we are in the right space, in the place. We don't want that. We want the Yeti. Give me the Yeti. And then we're gonna do this. Give me the Yeti. So make sure you are sharing because sharing is caring. Again, we appreciate you guys for being here and rocking this morning. We appreciate all that you do for being a part of all that we got. Um, so we're gonna have a great show today. Today we're gonna talk about what's it gonna cost you? What's it gonna cost? Are you counting up the cost of some of the decisions that you make? Yeah, we're gonna see how this conversation goes. What's it gonna cost you? Um, you know, between making certain decisions in your life and really counting up the cost of the decisions that you make between career and jobs, between marriage and not marriage, single, kids and no kids. Um, what's the cost? What's the cost? Let's see, who knows? Blessed Lisa. What up, Richard? So make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. We're gonna have an amazing show today. And turn it up a little bit. Turn it up. Get it into your ears. So as always, we are counting down to our 500th episode. Now that I got the date right, it was they count everything. That's not everything. I'm only the fresh live episodes. All right. So August 22nd will be our 500th episode. August 22nd will be our 500th episode. 500th episode. So make sure you share. Make sure you let everybody know in the building that the brothers are on every single day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Listen, so listen, and I'm gonna mention this again as all my people start rolling in. Folks coming a little late. It's all good. I have is he retired? Semi-retired. um, nonprofit business. He's kind of right now in the mentor space. He's my mentor, and off the top of my head, I may say his last name wrong, so we're just gonna say my man David will be on this Friday. So those that are watching, if you have any questions for the nonprofit space and starting one, business planning, even a for-profit business, get your questions, send them to me so we can have a conversation. And if you send me some of these questions early, he can make sure he's prepared for some of them as well. Because he says he'd rather have a lot more prep and not just I have to get back with you on certain questions. So make sure you send those to me. You can send it to the brothers. Let's see if I got it here. You can inbox me if we're connected like that, or you can email me at brothersoflegacy@gmail, brothersoflegacy@gmail. So if you have any questions about, because it's this Friday, Fired Up Friday. that's, that's how it's going down. All right. So we appreciate you guys for being with us and hanging with us and unlocking. Good morning, Michael. Appreciate you for being here, my brother. Let's see. So, like I said, today we're going to talk about what's it going to cost you? What's it going to cost you? And what is the cost of the decisions that you make? So, we're going to see how this conversation goes. I know it's kind of like the tagline. What's it going to cost you? We're going to see how this conversation goes. All right. So, what I need you to do, like not now, but right now, what I need you to do is go ahead and share because sharing is caring. Let everybody know that the brothers are in the building. Let's see. All right, let's see. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick pause for the cause. I think, let me see if that's coming through this morning. All right. coming through. All right, so make sure you share. I apologize, getting quiet. So just sorry. That's what I do before the intro, because these are the stuff I don't put on the podcast. So this is the special behind the scenes. All right. Let's do that. All right. So again, appreciate you guys being here. One for all. All right. And all for one. All right. So sorry, inside. I'll let y'all know about the show later. You may even miss it then. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, we're gonna talk about the cost, counting up the cost of decisions that you make. And I'm glad my brother is in the building, because this is going to be a great conversation. Let me check one more thing, and then boom, we're gonna get busy. Okay, I said. All right, I did my job. All right, so share because you care. And we'll be right back right after this short spot. Let's go.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
All right. Good morning. What's up, Kadeem?
What's going on, my brother?
I'm good.
Now that was a short intro right there. I mean, it's like flash.
Right.
Here we go.
Right. Very, very quick. Very, very quick. All right. So as you can see, Brand Nubian. I don't know who recognized Brand Nubian, One for All. And all
Man. I was a hip hop aficionado back in the day.
That's good. Punks jump up to get beat down. Nah. Take you back a little bit. All right. So some people are like, what? Don't worry. Just Google it. That's the beautiful thing about Google.
There you go.
You can no longer be behind. Because remember those conversations you jump into, you're like, who is that? I don't know. Then you got to go to the record store. You're looking for them. You got to go through a whole process to find out who people are. Now it's just Google,
that's
YouTube.
It.
Oh, that's
their whole playlist come out.
Right.
Good music though, for those that don't know.
Yes, indeed.
Good music.
All right, so today we're talking about what's it gonna cost you, and counting up the cost of the decisions that you make, right? And this is funny. I gotta always shout my wife out. She kind of gave me the inspiration for this topic. I might have twisted a little bit because she was like, "You never put exactly the topic I tell you." I'm like, "I know." So it's my mind. I'm sorry. It's just the way my mind works sometimes. But over there, I got it right. But we was talking, and she mentioned something about, like, what's the cost of being single versus married? And I thought about, because I was talking to someone some time ago, and it was like, people that are out in the field a long time. I'm like, for the most part, for me, it seems like most men, desire a mate. They may have multiple, but they don't want to really be alone. And I think that's people. We don't really want to be alone. Some people may choose or just get tired of the field. They're like, you know what, I'm just be by myself. But what I realized, at least as a man, the cost of being alone. I talked to somebody. I was like, yeah, the whole playing the field is cool until you get a backache where you can't get out the bed. like who gonna be there for you to help you through these moments, to get through, just being alone. And there I think she was telling me a story about, some men that have been alone and, they have a stroke, and nobody's there, and these are small things, but this is some of the things we're going to kind of talk about, counting up the cost. I got past I'm not sure his face was scrunched up. I don't know if he can hear, he's good, or he's just like, oh, where are we going today? All right, let's get past in the building. Good morning. Happy Monday. If I didn't say that to everybody, happy Monday.
Morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. How you doing, bro?
Yes.
All is well. So today we're kind of just talking about counting up the cost of your decisions. Again, make sure you share, because sharing is caring. I appreciate you guys for being here, rocking with us. So like I said, I kind of got this inspiration. My wife and I were kind of chatting, and we're talking about the cost of certain decisions that you make. And we can, like I said, like most of my topics, I may start in a certain space and we can always take it somewhere else. Even like for me, right? And I'm gonna keep real, maybe even most guys, like you don't really think about having children like that. Well, I know Pastor, he always wanted the Brady Bunch, so he's he's always been kind of family focused. For myself, I don't really think about. I didn't think about it. It wasn't like a plan in a sense, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna have kids, I'm gonna have a wife. He's like, maybe one day you get married. Like maybe one day, for me, it's more or less find that career job or something that I can make a lot of money. Like money was the I gotta make some money because I want that. I want to do this. I want to live like that. And I think, as a guy, you think about that and get with Sam and the discussion of children come up. And at that like very moment in my mind is like, I don't want kids, but I knew, but honestly, let me keep it real though, I knew like I would at some point, if that makes sense. Like I know like how I'm feeling now with being free. It's just, the small responsibility. I just got a wife. That's all the responsibility I got. Just make sure we good. It's it. The thought of children's like, oh my gosh, I gotta pay for this. We gotta do this. I gotta make sure they got this. School, boom, boom. All the stuff that goes through your head. So that was like, do I really want that? Do I really want that? He said, I'm with Pastor. He said, I'm with Pastor. I always wanted kids. Okay. So over time, like I wanted to have children because I didn't want to wait long. Because I was like, I know I'm gonna want them, and I'm be like 45, wanting children around me. Like, like I didn't want to get or 50, like wanting kids and or children. And I'm older, and it's hard to kind of chase children when you're a little older. You're a little more settled. So thinking of it, so I was like, okay. So I got into that space where I'm gonna be ready. Try to have that dad mentality. Then I was like, I'm gonna be involved in all the stuff I've always talked about. Like I never wanted to be the dad that when mom leaves, I have no clue on what to do. like just lost. I never I've seen too many of them shows. I was like, I'm not gonna be that dad. Like I'm a master that she can leave. She can go as long as you like. I got this. Now I will say the first time like left me with my son AJ, and she was like, yeah, I'm going out. We're going not even hanging out. I think she was going shopping, going to work, something productive. And I was just like, all right, I got this. All right, let's do this, dude. It's cool. It wasn't like crying, but because I had a system in mind. So yeah, I think for me, counting up the cost, I saw it forward. I was kind of forward thinking, you've got to kind of have these babies soon. Like, all right, I'm with you. Let's get on the baby track and try to have a baby, because like I said, because I think it was like 30, 31 when we had our first. So, and just being in that space of wanting children was what I wanted. So counting up the cost in a sense, because no matter how much you count up, how much it's going to cost as far as money, you're never going to probably get that right. But just counting up the emotional cost, the mental cost, like getting in a headspace, like your life is not your own cost, so it's giving up those. So for you, Kadeem, in your life, the decision that you make, going from even single to married, like when you was kind of like out there, in essence, hey, Mama Corey, 2 times. 2 spaces.
Hey.
Michael says my father was one of 9. My mother was one of 8. Family was everything growing up. Whew. But I just don't think about big families. But for you, Kadeem, making those decisions as far as, and I don't know if we asked this last time. So when you dated, was it like dating to find a marriage, or was it just kind of like, we'll see what happens kind of thing?
After my first marriage, yeah, I was dating because I wanted a family, but I was super mature. Well, in my mind, I was super mature at that time.
I got you.
So yeah, I was dating because I wanted a family. I wanted what I did
Okay.
not have.
Okay.
As growing up. I mean, I had a big family too, so you know what I'm saying. I had family reunions and all that good stuff.
Right.
So I had like my mom had 6 brothers and 6 sisters,
Right.
and my dad had 3 siblings, and everybody was close knit. So I was always around family, but I didn't have that 2-parent household like I wanted or like I saw from
Okay.
those older than me. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted that, and I guess that was pretty much what I was focused on. Because yeah, I mean, but as far as when I was younger,
Yeah.
it was totally different, man. I wasn't even thinking about. I was
Family,
wild
kids.
and
Right.
just wild and stupid and disrespectful. So
I hear you. So you were basically you were kind of positioning yourself. You were counting up the cost because you had your first baby. Now, how old were you when you had your first baby?
she was 17 when she got pregnant. I'm sorry. I was 17 when she got pregnant.
Okay.
18 when she had Tina, my oldest daughter. But she was older than me. I had an old cougar back then.
Wow.
I should have said young cougar back then. She ain't nothing but like 2 years older than me. So I was 17, she was 19.
I got you. Listen, I had to pause when you was like, yeah, she was 16. I was like, all right, don't finish that.
Oh no. I was the youngest.
We're talking on camera about that. I didn't know that.
No, sir. I've always been above board on stuff like that.
I got you.
Yeah, I frown very heavily on those that do statutory rape.
All right.
I frown very heavily.
I feel you. It's all good. Let's see. Danny says, "Good morning, gentlemen. Happy winning Monday. Late, but seeing you in my timeline." He was saying, "Appreciate you. What's up, my brother?"
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He said, "Peer pressure made me date because was attacked on sexuality because I was content being by myself. Fast forward, 3 kids, never been married." Okay, cool. So you, like you said, you counted up the cost. You're thinking about between after divorce, you was like trying to have that family that you've always wanted. You kind of thought about the decisions and the investment of going into that. Okay. So, Pastor, for you, like you said, you wanted the Brady Bunch, so you kind of already had your mind and your life set up in a space. Did you kind of like? And I know we went through situations because we talk for long story that you're on here right now, or maybe ever. But you went through a lot of steps and phases with your relationships, but your ultimate goal was to try to build that Brady Bunch family. Like it was always a goal in mind as you proceeded.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Brady Bunch was kind of a reference point because that's what I watched growing up, and it was the closest thing that I saw.
Right.
Because I didn't see anything like that in my community. Mother, father, dad just working, mother around, never seemed to know what Miss Brady was doing, but she was always around.
Right.
But I just knew I wanted children around, and it was also the fact that, I always had somebody to play with. My brothers and I, it was 4 of us, so I always wanted that type of activity in my home, on top of the fact that my mother specialized in early childhood education. So I was always around children. My first job was working with her, with children, young children. So I always loved children.
Wow.
So I knew that was always going to be a part of my life, but also not having a father, I always wanted to be a father.
Right.
I always wanted to be what I didn't have to make sure my children had that experience, So that was kind of it. Not
Okay.
necessarily the Brady Bunch, but just wanting a family.
Right.
Yeah. And but again, making mistakes trying to accomplish that. Sometimes you can want it ahead of your time.
Whew.
You want to be a daddy, but you ain't grown yet. You like the thought that sometimes the thought of something is a lot more than the actual fulfillment of it.
Right.
Because you don't count up the cost. You ask the question, what is it going to cost you?
Right.
So, but I love my children.
Right.
And they are all worth it to me.
I got you. Oh, let's see. All right. Good morning, Keita. Hey, good morning, Alicia. Good morning.
Good morning, wifey.
So, like we said, and I'm glad you kind of pivoted a little bit. Sometimes we know what we want, but are we prepared or positioned for it? And like I said, counting up the cost, because it's not just the obtaining of something, but it's the maintaining of it as well. And in both your lives, gentlemen, like, have you got things too early and found it a struggle to maintain it, whether it be a possession, whether it be a connection, whether it be family? Because I think, like, even certain relationships, not even just the male female relationships, but just maybe connect with somebody too soon and you're not mature enough to handle the requirements of what it takes to maintain a certain network or a certain space, or even getting an opportunity that is great, but you may not be in the right headspace to maintain it or have it. And that's a lot of times preachers talk about, I've probably heard pastors say as well, getting something too soon. You want it, like, you start on a new opportunity. It's like, I need it all just to happen. I want it to blow up, but when it does, it's like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for all these orders to come in. I wasn't ready, for all the attention that I'm getting right now, because I'm not really there yet. The slow growth, the building of the roots. So when the opportunities start coming, you're prepared. And that comes with counting up the cost of being great, of being popular, famous, or selling a product or good and it blowing up. If you got books, you don't have enough because you got too popular. you weren't ready. It kind of blew up. It's like, oh, I need to have 1,000 more books pressed. And then how do you respond to your customers? They're like, you said we're gonna get it in 2 days. I had 100. So counting up the cost. Like, let me ask you that. So in your world where something great has happened, have you ever gotten something too soon, a responsibility too soon? And what was that like, if you have or ever have that come into your space? Good morning, Lady McCory in the building.
I would say my first daughter, I had her too soon. Being a teenager and not graduating from high school, and you know what I'm saying, out there in the streets, living recklessly. I think I had her too soon.
Okay.
Because I didn't have that guidance that I needed, I thought, to be a dad.
Right.
So I was winging it, you know what I'm saying? And I was winging it the wrong way, you know what I mean? I was winging it the wrong way. I got a story. So how I even found out, man, I was at a club, right? And my daughter's mother,
okay,
she saw me. I didn't see her, but she had all her sisters with her and her cousins with her. So, I got like 6 females surrounding me like a pack of dogs. I'm talking about, and she going in and not in a club. It's music that's just loud, everybody drinking and stuff like that. And she's going around this circle. You know, you got a kid. You know, I was like, I didn't know nothing. I'm finding that out now. So I went over there, man. I think Tina was like, she was like maybe 10 months old or something like that.
Wow.
Because like I was moving around real quick back then. So
right.
Because I was talking to her before I went to the Navy, and then when I came back, I ain't even try to, fool with her, nothing like that. So now I got this 1-year-old who I don't know, and went over there to visit, and her mom was like, "Go ahead, take her with you." Like, hold on.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Oh. I thought this was a visit. I thought I was.
Can I ease my way into this? It's kind of slow. I come see her tomorrow. Hang out with her.
So I ended up picking her up, man. I took her back to my mama's house.
Okay.
And my mom was it's like in shock and awe, like, who baby that is?
See what happened, mama.
Hey, but my mama was right on course with it. Like, oh, that's your baby.
Okay.
There was no doubt in my mama's mind. That's your baby.
That's your baby.
Man, it was crazy though, man. But from that day forward, it was like, okay, now you got purpose. Now you got, you got something that you gotta get out here and really hustle for. You was hustling for entertainment.
Right.
And just, kicks and giggles and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just hanging out with the fellas.
Right.
But now you got to kind of like, hey, you got Pampers to buy, you got milk to buy, you got, you know what I'm saying? There's doctor visits you got to pay for, and medication, and you know what I'm saying, and daycare, and it was all that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm 18.
College.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold on, what? 18 years old, and you talking about daycare and all this, and I'm like,
all right,
it's crazy, man. So like I said, that's what I think
wasn't prepared for.
I wasn't prepared for, and like you say, the cost.
Yeah,
wasn't even weighing the cost. Wasn't even thinking about it, man. I was just going through the motions, but I was still young and stupid though.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I was still doing teenager, adolescent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stuff that I should not have been doing with my daughter or around my daughter. I was doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Exposing her to stuff that she didn't need to be exposed to.
I got you. Right.
But I was just selfish at the time. How about that?
I got you.
I'll leave it at that.
I mean, that makes sense because, I've been selfish at that age as well. And you try to, and granted, you've done the actions that cause the results, but, in your mind, you're like, you're not really in that space. You're not, let's get into it. It's like counting up the costs. What is the cost of these interactions? What is the cost of sex? What is the real cost? And, that's something, especially as men, we need to consider, even as young boys, because, we young, our hormones is all over the place, but it's like, dude, you got to get the discipline. It's like, it's like if any area you can blow your money, but this area, you really got to get your discipline right, because we have to, for our generations to come, and sometimes as a young dad, you don't know what to do. You run. We run, Yeah. Granted, my situation, like if I had a child that young, I would, my parents, my dad, like, dude, well, this is how your life is gonna be now. This is, I got you, but yeah, it's work and baby. That's it. I got to sit down. Like, this is what your life is now. But yeah, so I'm blessed to have, those kind of folk, have my parents in my life and have my dad and things of that nature, to help me count up some of the cost, and I'm still, I was still a teenager. So it's like, you don't know nothing. You ain't been around over 50 years. You don't know nothing. What is it? This is a new generation. You don't know. You don't know. It's 1990. You don't know.
And what was crazy about it, man, I wasn't even in a relationship with her mom
Okay.
So it was a
Yeah.
battle.
Right.
You know, and when we both teenagers and we both battling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm dating whoever I want.
Right.
She dating whoever she want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Baby's in the middle.
it was and then I mean that's a whole nother story. I make a story time for that. But anyway,
Right.
it was a super challenge, man, for me. Because my daddy wasn't there. We wasn't giving my mama wasn't. I ain't gonna say she wasn't there, but she wasn't ready to be no grandma either. Put it like that.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm still raising you. How I'm gonna raise you?
Right. I got you.
So you know, it was. Even though I wasn't staying in my mama's house,
Right.
I'm still a teenager. You know what I'm saying? I'm still, you know, my mama's only child. You know what I mean? Like I got brothers and sisters.
I got
you. Everything she had to do, she was pouring into me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but you know, anyway, what about you, Brother Brian?
There you go. That's what I was about to say. that works.
Which one? Y'all have been around the world.
Okay, so
right.
the opportunities that you've gotten that you weren't ready for.
That's tough, man. Because I think that, you know, the question of whether or not this came too soon,
right,
versus you being ready. See, you not being ready doesn't mean it came too soon.
Okay.
It just means you weren't ready when the opportunity was there, presented itself.
Okay.
You know,
right.
So I don't know, man. That's tough for me because, you know, when it comes to children and relationships, you know, was it too soon for you? Or too soon altogether? Like, I feel like I jumped into things way early in life before I knew. Like, too soon means I didn't know enough about myself.
Okay.
Right. So my encouragement to young people is find out who you are first.
Right.
And that doesn't mean you can be completely in tune with you early. I'm just saying experience some life individually first, because you have to learn to live with yourself before you can make a commitment of yourself to someone else. Right. You're still trying to figure it out. And I get that we're all ever growing, ever learning, ever coming into the knowledge and all of those things. I just feel like for young people, like for me in my life, I always wanted to be married. I always wanted to have children. But you don't think about the broken spaces in your life that come back to haunt you.
Right.
You know, I believe that there's some healing, there's some deliverance even before you align yourself with someone and start talking about having children. People don't get an opportunity to grow out of that stuff, grow out of some of the challenges, some of the questions you had as a young person never got answered. And then all of a sudden you're raising a young person.
Right.
And you're getting the answers at the same time. So for that, you haven't counted up the cost. I think you're moving a little too fast. I think the young people should really, really take their time and explore life and themselves before they start really matching themselves together as lifelong partners or anything remotely close to bringing life into this world. You know, I think it's just important. You ain't been through nothing yet. You haven't seen anything yet. You know, you haven't recovered yet. Right? We learn how to recover when there's another life involved. Wait, you know, you haven't won any championship belts yet, anywhere in life yet. You know, so that's, it's there's so much to this, man. You know, what's it going to cost you? It's going to cost you everything. When you start bringing life into this world, aligning yourself, yoking yourself up, it's going to cost you everything. Right. That's what you don't really understand. You want to give a piece of yourself to somebody. No, you got to give your all, your whole self. You know, that's the first misnomer. Right. We're ill-informed. You're not giving a part. It's not 50-50. Right. It's all in. It's everything you got plus Jesus. Right. You know, and those are the things that we don't really understand coming in. Right. You know, I want to have my woman, I want to have my man, I want to have my baby, but you also want to have your life. Right. And all of these things have an impact on how you have defined life. Right. If you define life as parenting and that's your whole life, then okay, then go do that. but how you gonna pay for it?
Right. Right. True.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I mean, we don't, I just want a baby. You just want a baby? Okay, you got a baby. Now what?
Now what? Now what? Right.
Now I just want to be able to feed my baby. Right. Right.
Right.
I want my baby to learn. Right. Where are those teaching moments? Because the teaching moments can't be while you playing a video game.
Right.
You can't be hanging out with your boys.
Right.
The teaching moments. You can't be hanging out with your girls.
Right.
Self-care. Oh, yeah. Well, now you got to care about this baby.
Right.
You still got to have self-care, but which means more to you?
Right.
You shouldn't have to have, it requires a level of maturity where you understand how to properly set your schedule, your timing, your emotion. All of those things may come into play, and you miss that stuff when you're doing it too soon.
Right.
That's
Indeed.
it. I mean, again, there's a lot to be said here, and I'm rambling because you have to take this thing bit by bit, piece by piece, chunk by chunk.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Lincoln Corey says, brother, he said a mouthful. Young boys and young men should practice discipline as well, not just young girls and young ladies. Parents need to talk to their teen boys about discipline when it comes to sex too young. Indeed. That conversation definitely has to be had, and we as men just have to be around to have them with ours that are in the house as well as outside the house. Just to have those conversations so our next generation kind of know what to do. And or at least give them a chunk of information to chew on, to hold on to, because we've all been young, we've heard half of everything. It just either takes us seeing it, or hitting our own selves in the head to actually get certain things, But I do hear what you're saying, Pastor. Yeah, it is the counting up the cost, the chunks of, there's so much to it. That we have to just be mindful of, and discipline, the knowing what's gonna come with the actions that we have, and like you said, we want this grand, glorious life, but there's always a sacrifice in there. You talk about self-care when you have a baby. You get self-care when they take a nap, or when they sleep. That's your moment.
Yeah, because self-care is important.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're not mature,
right.
Right. Your balance, your scales might be off.
Right.
When it comes to self-care and the sacrifice you have to make when you have brought a child into this world.
Indeed. Indeed.
Because the child can't do for themselves.
Right.
Right. And we out there having children and we can barely do for ourselves. We call ourselves trying to parent a child. You can barely do for yourself.
Right.
Those are the things that, young people don't take seriously enough. And I'm speaking from experience because I was young,
right?
And that old adage, you're going to be glad I told you this. That's generational. It comes. Yes. I'm saying it today.
Right.
My mother said it when I was a teenager. Her mother wasn't around, but somebody told her.
Right.
Some elder told her. So, but it's tough, and that's why it's so important. As parents today, that we create an environment that helps our young people understand where the true value is. What your priorities are. No one's saying you can't do this. No one's saying you can't have it. The question is when is your time? That's real.
Yeah.
And I think that we're just mismanagers of time.
Yes.
That's what we are. That's the stuff we have to understand and learn. But I think it's planting that seed of true value in the minds of young people. We tell young people, put your feet in foreign soil before you call a place your home. Explore.
Yeah.
Check out other places. Some children grow up and they never leave their zip code.
Yeah. True.
Some people grow up and they've never left their state.
Right.
Live an entire life. And I'm not saying that your life can't be fulfilled having never gone anywhere.
Right.
What I'm saying is, go take a peek. Right. So that you're not regretting that stuff later on and having resentment towards all the things that you thought were important to you growing up. And all of a sudden they become chains.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge one, man. Like to live, live your life before you totally settle in and settle down and, get see the world.
And even if that's with you, if you feel like you found your lifelong partner, that's fine.
Right.
Y'all go do it together.
Exactly.
Before you know, make these permanent decisions with each other.
Yes.
Go explore life. Go find out what life is like when you have seen something beyond your locality.
Right.
Will you all come back seeing life the same way?
Right.
Will you
Right.
see each other the same way? Have you given each other enough space away from one another and breathing away from one another to help determine whether or not you're just as excited when you come back together as you were having never left each other? You know, because sometimes you get so caught up in your mate that you lose yourself in your partner.
Right.
You know what? That's a great mistake that young people make. Like, oh, I'm so in love. Yeah, everybody in love at 16. Everybody.
Everybody.
Can't anybody tell you different? You know,
Right.
but you don't realize you're learning to love.
Yeah.
You're learning how.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and now you got to learn to love after you see them wink at somebody else.
Whew.
Was that a wink or is that I want to get with you?
Right.
You know,
Right.
I mean, there's so
Yeah.
many factors that come into play.
Right.
You know?
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
When
And-
you're making these, that's why it's important as to teach our young people to not be so quick to lock yourself down.
Right.
Enjoy your life. Be free. Be liberated. So that when you make the decision, it's an informed
Right.
decision. I'm so in love, really? And then 25 years later, I never thought.
Right.
I only wish. If I had only.
If I only. Yeah. It definitely has a way of coming back.
People, yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
But then for everyone that says that, there's another person that says, I wouldn't have done anything differently.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
Yeah. I mean, I'm it's you have to, and again, is this conversation for somebody that's 55 or is this conversation for somebody that's 15? Who is the conversation for?
I think all ages. There's always a moment to shift. You know, like I'm never one to harp on the regret, but just to move forward and make better decisions. You know, where you're at. Just kind of, think about where you're at and what you want to accomplish, and just kind of make the shifts, count up the costs, and press forward, even at 50.
Yeah. Some people be looking at, man, you could have been, but you know what? I feel like I'm Superman. Right.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. Yeah, I'm not where I want to be,
Of course.
but I'm striving.
Right. 100%.
I sure am not where I used to be. And I am a living, breathing, walking miracle.
Right.
I'm a miracle. And I have leapt tall buildings in a single bound.
Right.
I've been I've been more powerful than a locomotive. I've been faster than a speeding bullet. I've been all of those things.
Indeed.
Right. But I have challenges. I have issues. I have pains from doing things too quickly as well. But I also know that I am a miracle walking.
Yes.
And I'm so glad to be where I am today. I'm so proud to be where I am today.
Indeed.
She said, Kareem quiet today. No, Kareem was running his mouth earlier. You missed it.
We even got a story.
Listening. I mean, I'm listening because you speaking your truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You saying how you view the world that you live in. I'm just absorbing it. That's all.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt your flow, brother.
Like for me, I got married early. I think when you said the traveling, I definitely would have done more of that. Me and her, we got into like a baby mode, but definitely we would have just broke out and done more, like just either some silly, crazy stuff together, just doing some stuff, But we just got caught up in a certain vein, and it just, we should have been over here. And folks have said like, hey, y'all ain't got kids, it's like y'all need to be, we definitely that's probably like my one, I'll say, regret. Marrying early was great. I found mine early. Instead of just being out here. So that was the biggest blessing. But honestly, like in hindsight, like I said, just going out, taking more risks together, doing some things, definitely would have been different. Let's see. But of course says peer pressure is still going on in today's society. The trend and what young people say, everybody's dating and having sex. So So most of us don't understand our time to start dating. Okay. And Richard says to make better decisions, you need to separate emotions from them, because if we make decisions with emotion, often bad decisions, they can be. They can be. Those emotional decisions, boy, can get you messed up. So yeah, definitely. Like I said, we're discussing. Just a quick reset. You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We come on every morning, Monday through Friday, daily, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you are sharing these conversations. And we're talking today about counting up the cost. What's it going to cost you? And like I said, Pastor, there's so much to kind of think about when it comes to life and the moves that you make. And, you know, Kaneem talked about having a baby early and, you know, still being a teenager. And I get that, you know, it's you want to switch, but it's like, I want to have fun. Like, I see the baby over there. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go over there. Like, or I'm going to take her with me while we're having fun. Like, you sit there in the car seat while I hit the space games real quick.
It's crazy, man. I mean, as a, I appreciate my youth because I did enjoy and have a lot of fun. I went a lot of different places. I used to always brag all the time. I didn't see 25 of the 50 states before I turned 25. You know what I'm saying? And that was a big accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Even though all my buddies who I ran up with, they was like Brian was saying, they ain't never leave the county, much less a state. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it was so all that I did, all the dating that I did, all the women that I met, all the older heads that I met, they all gave me some nuggets of knowledge that I could really pull from and use at different times in my life. So it was fun. It was scary. It was challenging. It was grateful. It was a blessing. It had some of the devil in it. It just had everything. You know what I'm saying? But I learned. You know what I'm saying? Everything I did, I learned from. So would I change a lot? Probably so. Did I learn a lot? Yes, I did.
Gotcha. That's good. That's good. All right. So I don't know, like sometimes, you know, there are things that happen, right, that you would love to change. Like some of the worst things, of course, you think in your head, man, if I could just not have done that thing, or man, if I had not gone to that party, man, if I had not. But I think, at least say for my life, and maybe you guys as well, you know, some of them things shape you. You know, it's unfortunate, but it kind of like, it was the thing that kind of put you on a pivot, you know, like where you would have just, you probably might have, you know, because he might have still been doing some wild stuff if this thing didn't happen, you know. So I because I'm with you, like I would love to erase every mistake, every choice that went bad in my life, everyone. But I think I think, you know, like the Bible said, it works out for good, because it's a reason that you went through certain things, because, you know, those things are your testimony. You know, what that saying, I hate hearing, but I guess there's some truth to it. You know, you're going through this so you can help somebody else out. Like I hate, like, why I gotta go through this? Why can't I be a recipient of another person going through this? But you know, it all, you know, sets up for our good. I think as long as we understand what we're going through, and in the end, this reasoning, you know, it's horrible at the moment, but we learn and we grow, you know, these experiences and things of that nature. And not to say, and like I said, someone doesn't have to experience everything to learn. Sometimes if you just listen, you know, all of us got the moments like, man, if I just listen. Yeah, they told me. They told me, you know, the worst, somebody breaks something down to you, like, all right, let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to do this, and then this is going to happen. Ah, man, you don't know nothing. You don't know.
I get my kids with that all the time, boy. Anyway, How you
Maybe
know
that's
that
for
was
you,
gonna
but that's not how it's going to be for me.
Right.
How you know
I'm
that was gonna
different.
Right. I'm different.
Times are different. That was you.
Right. You didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, I don't like. For me, it's when it comes to the mistakes of life, I think for me the biggest challenge is not so much the mistake itself, but the impact it had to someone else.
Mm,
Right.
right.
That's the pain.
right.
I feel that.
Right.
I
Yes.
feel that 100%, man.
Yeah. You get to
I've
thinking
caused pain
about.
to folks who didn't deserve it.
Say it again.
I said I have caused pain to folks who did not
They
deserve
deserve
it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the biggest lesson for me is finally seeing pain on someone else and understanding and empathizing pain that I caused. That was the shift for me. Right. I don't want to be responsible for causing someone else's pain.
Right.
That's the thing. And sometimes there's an inadvertent impact to things, but when you're wrong and it hurts somebody else
Right.
and
Right.
it's on you,
Yeah.
when you start really understanding that side of life, that'll change your behavior. That'll change. When I pray, I'm like Jabez, Lord, help me to not cause pain.
Right.
I don't want to be I don't want to be the cause of someone else's pain.
Pain. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely. Definitely.
not intentionally.
Yeah.
Those
I
are
think
those are the things that I think about.
Yeah.
And you have to, because mistakes come with life. You're going to make decisions that don't work out very well. It's going to happen. You're going to make decisions that are going to have a negative impact on people. So you have to be very careful. You have to be prayed up. You have to use wisdom and all of these things because there's no getting around making the wrong decision.
Right.
There's just no getting around it.
Right.
But the more you consider that when making decisions, I think the healthier your emotional state, your mental state, your spiritual state will be. And recognizing the importance of forgiving yourself and forgiving others. I think sometimes, we hold things over other people and it prevents us from being the best version of ourselves that we could be to other people. Because you can't win. You can't get over. Those are the biggest things that I when I try to get young people to understand, I'm trying to ask them, what you're looking to do right now. What does this look like in 5 years? Can you imagine 5 years from now not feeling the way you feel today, but having done this anyway? How do you think that's going to come back? I'm saying I try to get people to think about things like that when I'm not feeling your decision. When I think the consequence of your decision, you have not counted up the cost here. So those are the things that I try to get people to understand. You're going to not, this mood is going to change.
No, it's
So
not.
what you do while you're here may not change.
Right.
You could make a decision right now while you're in this mood and your mood will change, but the decision that you make can have a much longer effect
Right.
than how you feel right now. And those are the things you have to think about. That's oh God, if I had only, oh gee,
Right.
man, I shouldn't have ever went over there. I should have held my peace. I didn't have to say anything.
Right. That's good.
If I had left 5 minutes earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
Just left. Oh, why did I stay?
That's the one. Probably just left 5 minutes early. Oh, golly. Yeah.
So that's the stuff. But it's life though, man.
Yeah, indeed. Yes.
And the greatest part about it is reflection that is an enabler to get better.
Right.
You reflect back so that you can get better.
Right.
You don't live in the past, but you can reflect, learn from it, and get better. That's real talk.
Yeah. This went bad because of this. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't try not to do that.
Sure.
Read the contract. Read the whole thing.
There's certain
time.
things, I remember, I think about the times you guys have heard me share this story, the time I was getting into it with a homeboy that I grew up with, Rodney, and my mom stood back to see if I was going to fight him.
Right.
There's certain times you have to sit back and let them do it. so that they can learn.
Yeah.
Right. You hit somebody, be ready to get hit back.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right.
Count up the calls. Can it's easy to punch, but can you take a punch?
Right.
Right. What did Tyson say? Everybody want to box today.
Everybody got a plan until they
Everybody
get
got planned until they get hit the first time. That's real.
You're right.
So know that you're gonna get hit. And the question is, how do I react? How do I respond from getting hit? Do I have the ability, the capacity to get back up from getting? Yeah, yes, I do. Yeah. Is this worth getting hit?
Right. That's the key. Is it worth getting hit?
Yeah. And even when you're setting your dreams and your aspirations and your goals, all that kind of stuff,
right,
you're going to make mistakes.
Right.
It's going to happen. You're launching your business. I make the best lobster bisque on the planet.
Right.
So I'm launching a business to make lobster bisque. Right. Great. Business failed. Why? Because it took too long to prep.
Right. Right.
Order from the time the order's made to getting the lobster bisque on the table was too long. People got up and left the restaurant. Yeah, I learned how to make it, but I didn't learn how to repeat the process to a point where I could get it down to a science from a timeline perspective to get the food to the plate and get the plate to the table.
Right.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about I got to clean the kitchen from top to bottom daily. I don't have to do that at my house, but in a restaurant, that's all day, every day.
Right.
Are you going to get shut down? Well, yeah, I know how to cook. I just don't know how to clean. Well, you didn't count up the calls.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to sell cars, but I ain't bought any.
Right.
Right? Selling cars all day and got no cars on the lot.
Right.
What you selling? Right. You went and bought a lot, but don't have any cars to put on it. Okay. All right. I want to be a writer, but you don't write anything down.
Right.
What are you talking about? You have great thoughts, but you don't put any of them on paper.
Right.
How do I know? I'm an author.
Right.
I got like 6 books and 1 publication. Are you an author? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm just saying, man.
I got you. It's important to count up the costs when you get into anything, any and everything, even relationships.
I want to be married, but you're mean.
Woo!
There's somebody for everybody. Yeah. I'm afraid of the person that would be with you.
Right. They're gonna match your energy.
Yeah. Right. You should accept me for who I am. You're a beast.
Right.
You need to get saved.
Right. Lord Jesus in your life.
I want to help people. You can't even help yourself.
No. Right.
Who you helping?
Indeed. Indeed. So listen, guys, we appreciate you for being here.
I didn't mean to be a browbeater this morning.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. That was a good way to close it.
You're gonna make it. You'll be all right. Keep fighting. Knowing you can always count on me.
Listen, make sure you are joining our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Join our text community as well as join our Discord community where we're trying to have a conversation outside the broadcast. And like I said, but I mentioned earlier, this Friday I got a gentleman that puts together business plans. He's a mentor. He's been a mentor to me for the last couple of maybe a month or so now. And we're going to discuss putting a business plan together, nonprofit, raising money. And if you have any questions, nonprofit and for-profits, if you have any questions that you want us to ask, you can that joke Friday. Yeah, we're gonna leave that to Friday. Don't do it. Email me brothersoflegacy@gmail.com or inbox me if you have any questions, business questions, anything you would like to ask him. So again, we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time, same channel. We love you. God loves you more. He rearing up. See that? For profits. Definitely. Richards, hit me up with some questions, man. I know you got them. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. There you go. Cooper representing. Know that we love you. God loves you more. Stay safe, and we will see you in the AM. Listen, and also don't forget Purposeful Forever tonight at 8 p.m. Tonight at 8 p.m. Join our community, and you'll know when we go live. All right. So as always, be safe. Know that God loves you. God loves you. Know that we love you. God loves you more. That's it. I'm out. Peace out.